Knick-Knack's Plastic Planet. With your host, it's Knick-Knack!
Welcome back inside of the Plastic Planet. I am your host, back from a 2-week hiatus. I am your host, Knick-Knack. So good to be back with you guys right here on the Plastic Planet. As you can see, I am not on the Plastic Planet, however. I am on an expedition today. That's right, I am heading out into the great wide open, into the world. First day of summer. What better way than to celebrate than to go on a nice, fun, exciting road trip? Where am I going? Well, I am heading up to a new store that I've never been to. New for me anyway. I think they've been around for a while. But they're way out of my flight path. I am heading up to Fort Collins, Colorado, from my home in Denver. And there is a store up there called The Secret Compass. I keep wanting to call it the Golden Compass, you know, like that shitty fantasy movie that came out several years ago. No, not Golden Compass, Secret Compass. So I'm going to head up there and check them out and see what they have. Allegedly, they have a lot of Sideshow and a lot of Hot Toys figures, and that is just so awesome. I love finding that stuff at brick and mortar retail. You know, I've talked about this in the past on my channel. There's a certain love lost when you pre-order an action figure from Sideshow or from any other site. Not that it's not fun getting figures in the mail, but it's sort of anticlimactic, you know. There is something to be said. There is something special about the hunt, about getting out in the world and going after things and finding things in the wild, on the shelf, the tactile feel of holding it in your hand before you decide whether or not you want to buy it. That's just what this hobby was born from, and still should be in some ways, I think. You know, while I talk all the time about how I tend to be a little bit of an action figure snob, so the majority of my stuff that I love to collect right now honestly does come in the mail. So this is exciting to actually find a store where I can go and check them out and see if there's actually anything there I want to buy. So I'm really excited. I'm glad to have you guys along with me today. Stopped off, putting a little gas in the man van right now. You know, what is more Americana on a road trip than stopping up at a real live truck stop? That's kind of where I am right now. So I mean, yeah, sure, I could have paid a lot less for gas if I'd, gassed up, down the street from my house, but there's just something about stopping off right off the interstate and gassing up. That's the best. Oh yeah. Yep, nothing beats the open road. Did I mention the woman in front of me was smoking a cigarette while she was gassing up? I love America. Yeah, hi there. Can I just do a number 10 today? Medium sized with a barbecue sauce and a Diet Coke?
Okay, anything else, sir?
No, that's it. All right, thank you so much. One cool thing also about road trips is that, fuck diets, man. I'm eating fast food. It's good to get finger foods too. I went with chicken McNuggets because you don't want to be messing with a giant cheeseburger when you're on the road. Hi there.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How you doing? I was surprised. Usually, most places, you pay never use the second window. Yeah, usually it's the second window. That's all good though. Right. Well, it's nice to see you nonetheless. Yeah. I'm good. Thank you so much. You have a great day. This is like fast food. This is awesome. Oh, thank you. Good. How are you doing? Good. Awesome. Thanks a lot. All right, have a great day. That was awesome. Through that line in record time. All right, let's hit the open road again. Alrighty, so I am back on the open road, and just making sure I was filming there. I'm back on the open road here, and this is awesome. I mean, it's the first day of summer. Drive in. I mean, I've got nothing but an open road in front of me for the most part. Some traffic, but not too bad. And it's just a liberating feeling, you know, being out into the world. I mean, so much of my time, so much of my life is spent, you know, feeling confined, whether I'm sitting in traffic going to work or sitting inside of my tiny felt cubicle at work. And I do enjoy my job most days, but you know, there's still the feeling you have to be there and that confinement. So this is just great. This is just so liberating. And it's so liberating to be driving somewhere where I'm actually looking forward and excited about what I might find there. I'm so hoping I find some really cool, one or two, probably one, because two gets a little expensive. But I'm really hoping to fire up a Hot Toys figure today. I'm not even sure what I'd fire up, but it would just be cool to find something. So, I mean, just that possibility, that anticipation is just so awesome. I mean, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. You know what? Going on a toy hunt, you know, it's less about the hunt itself, but the anticipation. You know, the feeling of what you might find, what the road ahead of you is. You know, it's not. You know, the joy of making love to a woman is not the act itself, but the anticipation of it. Well, sometimes anyway. But this is great. I'm just really excited. Let's hear. I've got my road trip checklist. Let's hear. So we stopped off at a real live truck stop, filled up with gas. Paid a little too much for gas, but that's okay. Saw a woman smoking a cigarette at the pump. She looked very much like our own Bloody Mary. By the way, I wanted to say thank you so much to Uncle Pat for filling in for me a couple weeks back, and thank you to Bloody Mary as well. You know, sometimes life throws you a few curveballs, and it was good to have some backup the last couple weeks on this channel. So, very big thank you to those two for filling in for me. But nevertheless, you know, it's just great to be out into the world, driving. You know, yeah, just completely fantastic. Alrighty, so we have arrived here at the Secret Compass. It's very warehousey here. It's kind of what I expected, though. Not sure how big of a retail front this is. So I'm going to go ahead and go inside and check it out. I'm not sure if they're going to let me film in there. I will ask politely. We'll see. And if so, I'll show you what they have. And if not, I'll just update you and show you what I picked up, if anything, later on. So hopefully this will be a fruitful visit, though, I'm hoping. Alrighty, so Secret Compass was a bit of a strikeout today, and that's okay. Talked to the owner, really nice guy. It was just a week after, last weekend was Denver Comic-Con, and so his storefront was pretty torn up, and it was a very small little storefront. He actually runs a very large online website, which I'll put that link right here for you guys, so you guys can check out his store. A lot of stuff, really cool, nice dude. It was fun talking some Star Wars with him, but yeah, he didn't have anything to really film in there because the store was kind of torn up, and there, yeah. So anyway, that's okay. That's okay. Sometimes these things happen. So anyway, right now I'm just kind of trying to make the most of this trip. I am right now in Old Town Fort Collins. Again, I grew up in Fort Collins. This is kind of cool to be back here. Grew up a little bit anyway. 3 years of my childhood was spent here, maybe 4. But so it's kind of nice to be, kind of fun to be back in Fort Collins. So I'm in Old Town Fort Collins. This is really close to the Colorado State campus. There's a lot of college kids still up and around in here. But this is a really cool area, and there is a comic book store called Haley's Comics. So we're gonna go check out Haley's Comics, and again, maybe I'll film in there if I can, and hopefully maybe I'll find something cool. So let's go check it out. All right. Alrighty, so Old Town Fort Collins is super duper cool. This would be an awesome place if I was, maybe 15, 20 years younger and was with my boys, all my friends, hanging out, going to the bars. This would be a pretty awesome place to hang out. However, it's not really a good place to look for higher end collectibles, as this is a college town. I checked out Haley's Comics, really clever name for a comic book store, but it was just that, just completely straight up comic book store. Kind of very newsstandy, very cool, but not what I'm looking for today. I didn't film in there. Didn't see the point in it. There's really nothing to show off, just racks and racks of comic books, which is cool, but again, not what I'm after today. So again, what my little quest for high-end collectibles may be hitting a severe roadblock here. Is Fort Collins is very much a college town, and college students don't spend $250 on action figures. They just don't. As I was one once myself. I can attest to that as well. So anyway, I've got one more comic book store I'm going to check out. Hopefully this will be a little more fruitful. Maybe it won't. Maybe it will. So we're going to go check that out, and if it is, I'll do some filming in there. Hopefully, maybe. Keep saying that. Not happening, but maybe. All right, let's do it. Alrighty guys, so that was another major swing and a miss. Google Maps led me to this shopping center, and I can see the awnings are the same, but there is no sign of any kind of comic book or collectible store in here. I did find this really quaint old bookstore that might be where it was. I went in there and it was just like, oh, it's just wall to wall of old books. Really smelled awesome in there, that old book smell. Really nice older lady in there. She kind of reminded me of the librarian from Ghostbusters. But nevertheless, not what I'm looking for today. I just keep striking out. This has been a very fruitless road trip. Kind of sucks. Was hoping to find something fun today. Looks like that's not going to happen. But I am having a little nice adventure, I guess. So there's your lemonade from all these lemons. So all right, guys. Well, we'll see where we go next. All right. So this is kind of amazing. Like I said earlier in the vid, I grew up for about 3-4 years here in Fort Collins, and I was too young to even drive back then. But just driving around, you know, I kind of got my bearings again just based off of, you know, driving around with my parents as a kid, and I totally know where I am right now. Over here, I can't show up. There's a grocery store that we used to shop at when I was a kid. Used to be a big pizza place over here, Upper Crust Pizza. It's not there anymore. But yeah, I'm getting kind of emotional all of a sudden. I totally recognize where I am, and honestly, not a whole lot's changed. So this is my old elementary school. I went to school here from 2nd to 5th grade. Looks completely different. That sign there used to be when I was here, they put a time capsule in a sign, and that's not the same sign. So, oh god, am I that old that they opened the fucking thing? Jeez. Any rate, wow, yeah, this looks a lot different. They've remodeled. Alrighty, here's the street that my old house was on. This is trippy. I haven't been over here. I think I drove over here maybe 20 years ago just to see it again when I was in college, but I haven't been back over here since then. Trees are huge. I mean, these trees are massive. That's not what I remember, but everything else, really nice neighborhood. I mean, hell, yeah, this feels like 1986 to me right now. Outside of the trees just being ginormous. There it is, coming up on it. There's a giant pine tree. Where the hell did that come from? It's my house right there. There's kids playing out in front of it. Wow. Alrighty, so that got a little awkward. I was shooting a little bit of the old house, and one of the kids that lived there saw me shooting and freaked out and went and told his dad. So I felt like so I had to run out and introduce myself real fast, let him know I wasn't a weird creeper guy. You know, I just said, hey, you know, I told him my name, said I lived there between 1983 and 1986. I was just checking out the old house, and I was totally harmless. But yeah, that felt really bad. I didn't mean to scare anyone. Hey, so you know, pro tip: if you ever are getting nostalgic and go look at your old house, don't stand out in front of it like a creeper guy in your crappy minivan and take pictures of it, because you might scare the shit out of whoever's living there now. So anyway, yeah, I just keep striking out today. This has not been what I'd hoped it would be. This has been kind of a dumb day. Not a bad day, just a dumb day. So anyway, I'm kind of pulled off here, checking out some open space up here. Yeah, amazingly, this town hasn't changed a whole lot. Trees are bigger, but it really hasn't grown all that much. Not as much as I thought it would. So much the Front Range has grown so much. The Front Range Front Range, it's like the I-25 corridor in Colorado, Fort Collins, Loveland, Longmont, Denver, Colorado Springs, Pueblo, etc. That's called the Front Range, that string of towns or cities. And so much of it's grown up where I've been, you know, where I grew up. The areas I grew up in Denver just are completely unrecognizable because of growth. Fort Collins hasn't grown as much as I would have thought it would have. But so anyway, yeah, it's weird. Just weird. What a weird day. Alrighty, so it's raining out, and I'm stuck in traffic as I am leaving Fort Collins. Fort Fun, as we used to call it back in college when we'd come down here from Laramie. Fort Fun was not very fun today. Kind of struck out. Struck out at the collectibles store I came down here to check out. Struck out at the first comic book store I looked at. Nothing there I really was interested in. And the second comic book store was gone. So Fort Collins was a complete strikeout. I hadn't been down here in several years, and it's probably going to be several more years before I come back. Not only that, I also freaked out the people who currently live in my childhood home. They thought I was some kind of creeper, and I don't blame them for thinking that. And I feel really bad about that. So, yeah, great time. What a great day. Alrighty, so after my little misadventure today, I am back inside of the friendly confines of the Plastic Planet, and it's good to be home, I must say. I was thinking about it all the way home, and it really bothered me how much I probably startled that family when I was taking a couple shots of my old childhood house. And so I don't know. I don't know if I'm doubling down on the creepy factor or not. I thought about going back and asking the gentleman I was speaking to if I could have his email address so I could send him some pictures of the house from the 1980s when my family lived there, just to kind of back up my story, and B, I think it would be kind of interesting for them to see that. I went ahead and obviously I have the address because I lived there and I had to memorize the address in second grade. So I am going to send them a letter in the mail, snail mail, and geez, I actually had to go to the store and buy envelopes because I don't think I've actually handwritten a letter since college, since like the 1990s. So that was kind of weird, and I could only get envelopes in a box of 50, so honestly that is probably the last set of envelopes I will ever buy, probably. So anyway, but I did write them out a little nice handwritten letter, I think. Just so that I can, alleviate any creep factor they might have. I hope. That's my sincere hope anyway. So anyway, this is what I wrote them. I wrote, "Hello, my name is," and that's my name, Knick-Knack. I didn't tell them. That's not my real name. But you get my point. "I spoke with you and your family on Thursday, 6/21/18, in regards to your home, which was my childhood home from 1983 to 1987. Again, let me apologize for taking pics in front of your home and startling your son. As I mentioned, I am a vlogger, and I did use one pic of your house, but I removed any individual info, in this case your car's license plate number, from the shot. As a token of my appreciation, I have enclosed some pics of the house from the 1980s. As you can see, no signs of your pine tree back then. They had a giant pine tree. I don't know if you saw that in the picture. They had this giant pine tree. It was like unbelievably huge. It looked like it had to be 30 years old, but it wasn't, because it wasn't there when I was a kid. So that's kind of weird. Thanks again, and if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to get in touch. And I left them my contact information. So anyways, I printed out a couple nice pictures of the house from back in the day. That's an interior shot. And there's the house. Look at my dad's bitchin' cars. Look at that. There's the Grand Prix, and there's the 1981 280 ZX-GL. That was such a badass car. I got to drive that in high school and a little bit in college. I drove that to my junior and senior proms. That is the best freaking car. Love that car. And my dad sold it. It was supposed to be mine, Dad. Supposed to be mine. So anyway, so I'm gonna put that in the mail. Hopefully that alleviates any. I hope that makes them feel a little better if they aren't already. I just felt really bad about that. So it was a little awkward, and yeah. At any rate, anyway, so that's gonna wrap up this edition of the Plastic Planet. And you didn't see one single action figure here. Not one single action figure today. Hopefully we alleviate that in a future episode very, very, very soon. So anyway, like I said, that's going to wrap up this edition of the Plastic Planet. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And you know what? Hey guys, go out and buy something fun this week. I tried to, but I fell flat on my face. What a failure of a day from a collecting standpoint. And I felt like a total asshole. So that was fun too. So anyway, all right guys, till next time, have a great one. All right. It's Dee Dee. It's Dee Dee the dog. Dee Dee the dog.